Hi, this is Brittany Matthews, and welcome to the Promotion Lady Show.
The Promotion Lady Show is as real as it gets. She's putting it down for you. I said you haven't seen nothing yet. The Promotion Lady Show, putting the real back into reality. Come on and join us. Yeah, the spoken truth you will see.
I have with me Ms. Joy McLaughlin Harris. Please introduce yourself to the audience today.
Hello, everyone. I am Joy McLaughlin Harris. I am from Gaston, South Carolina. Some people call it G-Town.
G-Town?
Yes, G-Town. So if you guys, I'm a country girl. They say you can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out the girl. So that's where I'm from. I'm excited to be here.
Yay.
So that's it. That's about me. You think I should give them some more?
No, that's good.
That's good? Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So what did you have to overcome to get you where you are now?
That's a loaded question, but I'm gonna give you the short version.
Okay, that's fine.
So one of the things is I grew up in an environment where finances was talked about negatively. I was always hearing money don't grow on trees. I don't have no money. Don't ask me for money. We're not gonna have any money. That whole atmosphere and environment. So I developed a poverty mentality as a result of that. I felt like I couldn't make money. I wouldn't make money, and I wouldn't be successful because that's all I heard growing up. I grew up in a single parent household, so that in itself was challenging. Just being, and my mom worked like 2, 3, 4 jobs. The incomes never met. They just kind of waved at each other.
Wow.
So just seeing that constant struggle, that's why later on in life, of course, I became an entrepreneur. But it was just always that struggle financially, always that struggle when it came to what I heard growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it hard for me as an adult because I didn't know anything about money. So of course I messed my credit up at a young age. I lived in survival mode. I didn't think I could be successful. So there was a lot of losses that I experienced once I became an adult.
And you really grew up with that.
So I didn't think I could be successful. So once I became an adult, I'm just like, I get money. The first thing I'm gonna do is throw it away. Yeah. I'm not going to keep it anyway. I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to be able to have any because that was my mentality.
Right.
And my mom and people in my life always saying, I don't have. So then even if I had a little bit of money, I would say, I don't have no money. Stop asking me for money. What you mean? I'm broke. I constantly spoke that I was broke and wondered why I was broke for so long.
So what was your turning point? Like, what was your aha moment that, listen, my mind got changed?
My aha moment was when I ended up going to an event. I was 18 years old and saw people that was a little bit older than me talking about their success in finances. And of course, the one thing that they talk about is that they had to change their mindset about money. They had to change their mind. So I was like, oh my God. And then I was a person that had I can't in my vocabulary. So I remember when the young man was like, and if you're a person that's always saying that you can't, you have to change that. You have to stop speaking that. So it was in that moment that I was like, oh, kind of like my light bulb moment.
Everything stood up.
Yeah, because he was like, that means that you are a negative person. I mean, you have negative thinking. That means that you have to change. I was like, oh my God, I have negative thinking. And that's when I really learned about the whole poverty mentality, where I said, oh my God, I got poverty mentality. So when he started talking about some of the things that he did to be a millionaire at such a young age, I was just like, my attention span went up and I was like, okay, give me more, give me more, give me more.
Because you found out you can.
Because I found out I can. So when he started talking about this entrepreneur thing, I was like, something on the inside of me was like, oh my God, I can't wait to leave here so I can study some more about this.
Passion kicking in.
It was kicking in. Then he started talking about financial literacy. I said, financial literacy? And started talking about all this stuff. I said, financial literacy. So I was like, okay. I was just like, okay, give me more, give me more, give me more. So when I left, I became a student of everything he said. I started studying financial literacy, studying entrepreneurship. And of course, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, but I first had to still change my mindset because I still didn't believe that I could be him even after hearing him.
That's right.
Yeah, but it did give me some motivation, like, oh, okay, well, maybe. So I started the process of really digging into entrepreneurship and financial literacy once I attended that event.
Wonderful.
And it was a network marketing business.
Oh.
Yeah, right. I'm not trying to promote network marketing, but I don't have anything against it.
It's fine, though.
Yeah. But I remember it was a network marketing event. But that was kind of a turning point for me when I saw a young person be successful and hear him talk about his process to getting there, and then realizing how toe up I really was when he started talking about, so that was a part of my turning point.
So you took accountability for it.
I did.
Your mind and everything.
I did.
Cleaned up everything.
Detox my mind.
So let us talk about your new one. Making the shifts.
Making the shifts.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay.
I already read like the back and everything.
Okay, so you read. Okay, so since we're talking about mindset, the first thing that I did and the first thing that I wrote in this book, Making the Shift from Self-Employed to Business Ownership, is that you have to change your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first process in me becoming successful in transitioning to business ownership, is a mindset shift. I went a year without watching TV. I made sure that I listened to audiobooks, and I started feeding my mind with positive.
Hold on. Watching TV.
I went a year without watching TV. That was a part of my mind detox. Yeah.
That's intense already.
Yeah. And I talk about that in the beginning of this book. I give steps to what did I do to transform my mind so that I would no longer have poverty mentality. I talk about the difference, of course, in the definition to let people know it's not the same. And just to give you a brief, self-employed, you're trading that time in for money. And I lived that for so long, and I thought it was the same as business ownership until I started saying, Lord, it has to be a different way.
Yes.
This can't be business ownership. There was no time freedom. There was nothing in place that worked without me. So it took me 10 years in the beauty industry before I took my first vacation. Because if I stopped working...
10 years?
10 years.
For self-care?
Yeah, for self-care. Because if I stopped working, I didn't have anything to bring money in. So if I stopped doing my clients, then I was going to be struggling coming back home from vacation because there was nothing in place for me to take that vacation financially.
Wow. But now you have everything.
I changed it. And I started
restructured and everything.
Restructured. I started studying business ownership, and I started really realizing it's not the same. I got mentors.
Good.
My mentors helped me. I did my research and found out IRS even identifies it differently. So I said, okay. And I got pregnant with my daughter, and I would say my daughter was my pause. So I restructured my company. I had to sit down somewhere. I couldn't be doing all that stuff that I was doing, especially when I got close to having her. So I restructured my company. I created systems. I created multiple streams of income and just put different things in place to run without me. So that's what I did differently.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
you restructured everything.
I restructured everything. My salon that I had, everything, it was open up. So what I did was I took the rooms and made them individual suites, which gave people an opportunity to own a business within a building and not have to have so much overhead. So by doing that, it was a beautiful thing because it made my numbers like double. I'm actually over double by just doing that. So all the girls that were in my salon, I let them out of their contract because they was like, nobody about to pay you this amount of money. Like, how you just gonna double our rent like that? Who does that? So I let them out of their contracts, and they all found someplace else. So there was a time frame where my business was tested. And I was like, oh Lord, but I was able to survive by not having anybody in there because like I said, I had put things in place. So my company was tested to run without, I still had things that were producing, but I didn't have the main income that was coming in, which was the girls renting for me. But it still was open. I didn't have to close my doors. I got new leasing contracts within a matter of months, and all of the rooms were filled. So you can only imagine what that did for the income for my company. Just that one change.
Just that one change.
Just that one change.
You had shift into your new season.
I had shift. That's the word for the shift. It's time to make a shift. So yeah, I shifted.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that information.
You are welcome.
Please go ahead and share with us. What is your ultimate piece of advice you can give to our audience today?
I would say my ultimate piece of advice is to speak things now as though they were. Meaning, if you believe,
say so.
Speak things now as though they were. So if you believe that you're going to be a six-figure earner, if you believe that you're going to be a business owner, whatever you believe, you start speaking that into existence and start to create a plan of action and execute and watch God change things.
And watch God changes. I love it.
Yeah, watch God change things and watch things start coming to you as a result of what you're speaking.
Because you're attracting what you're speaking.
That's it. That's it.
You heard it here on the
That's
Promotion Lady Show.
That's it.
And Ms. Joy, where can we find you?
You can find me, Joy Speaks to You, on Instagram and Twitter. That's with the number 2, the letter U. You can find me on touchofjoy.org to purchase a book, or Amazon.com, or call me, 1-800-570-3544. There you have it.
Well, thank you so much for being a guest on my show
having
today.
me.
No problem.
I had fun.
Y'all, this is not even half of it. So. But of course, you can find find this video on Roku TV, on TPL Network. You can find it throughout social media as well as on our YouTube channel, The Promotion Lady Show. Thank you all so much for watching today, and have a blessed day.